Welcome everyone to Wellness Wednesdays at Metta-morphic Lifestyle. Allow me to be your host and guide for the next half hour for our next wellness talk. Let's do this.
Hello, Leanne.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good. Welcome, everybody, back to Wellness Wednesdays. And today we will be talking about Adaptiv. That's where we left off the last time. It's a beautiful oil. I love the packaging on this one. And the fragrance, the aroma, if I could describe it, is very earthy, but yet it has that minty after smell, which is a very refreshing scent to me. It comes in a variety of ways, like the delivery ways that doTERRA has presented it. We have the 15 ml oil, and then we have the roll-on right there, which is so convenient.
This one, so you can literally do this.
With the metal ball. I love the delivery and the availability as a roll-on because you can just kind of have it in your purse if you love the scent and you know the benefits. There you go, those two. And I do find I have this by my bedside because I love it on my sheets, my pillows before I go to bed. Super relaxing, very dreamy. And the one that we're talking about especially today is the capsules. And I think, Leanne, you had them by you, like the capsule. And so they're on a special, and we'll talk about the special a little bit later on. We want to get into the benefits that Adaptiv has. The last segment that we had talked about a lot of the stressors that we've been going through. Just, I would say it is an international feeling right now with, say, be it politics, be it the COVID experience, be it just having your everyday stressors of family, relationships, seasons. So we're constantly bombarded, and our immunity needs to feel safe so that it can rebuild and relax. And that's where these oils come in so handy, because it gives you a bit of a pause, a bit of a break where your body can recoup and you can regenerate and put those stressors aside. So having that into your regimen daily, weekly, whatever that looks like. Daily is the best because you're taking out time for yourself and you're intentionally making use of these oils as an essential tool for de-stressing. Yeah. So I will take this moment to just bring on my screen some things that I'd like to share about Adaptiv. Let's see. All right. So actually the ingredients is what really I want to talk about is that it has coriander, it has ahi flower, fennel, GABA, lavender, wild orange, and selenium. Now, did you want to take over the GABA and the selenium, Leanne? Because I know
I tend to say scalenium, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm actually not quite sure.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is that GABA is something that is completely natural. You will find this at supplement stores in your stress, sleep, anxiety section. It's a well-studied neurotransmitter, as they call it. It's basically the chemical messenger for the brain. So it helps, how do I describe this best way? It slows your brain down by blocking the specific signals that are sent to your central nervous system. So when we have these moments where we're like really heightened or feelings of anxiousness or overwhelm, taking a supplement that has GABA, because some people are naturally low in GABA. So taking a supplement with GABA helps to slow that down, so that it kind of gives you a little bit more of a calm, relaxed state. And sometimes I find people will take GABA even in the evening if they have a hard time, like they tend to be a little bit nervous or anxious, or maybe they're just a little, under a lot of stress, their mind is racing. There's a few different supplements that you can use for that, but GABA is something that has been effective for a lot of people. So, when it comes to daytime use, when I think of GABA, it's that moment where, you're feeling a lot of stressors, or you're having those anxious feelings, or maybe you're going somewhere and you're traveling and you just get like that bit of a rise of something. Adaptiv would be a great tool to take. It just kind of just helps bring you down, right?
Yeah. And GABA, along with lavender, we already know about lavender being such a relaxing oil. So these I love the way that it's a layered oil that can provide so much benefit in just one bottle, with the wild orange being that pick me up. Now, I couldn't really pinpoint on what that minty scent is. And I'm thinking I'm picking up on the fennel as that herby minty.
And the coriander would give you that too.
Would it? Okay.
Now in the oil, that's not like there is the spearmint in the actual oil blend. So that's also where you're going to get that mint scent from. And rosemary is in here too. So you're getting that. But the scalenium is interesting too, because it's an actual extract that is sustainably sourced, but it helps to calm you down as well. But it's known to keep you still alert, because I think that's the other thing when people take like pharmaceutical medications or other things that tend to naturally keep you calm. Some of them have a sedative effect, right? Like even like look at, gravel, it's for motion sickness, but for some people it knocks them right out, right? So it's the same kind of thing. Like we have to watch with these, because lavender is very calming. High doses of lavender for some people, it's like can be a sedative too. So the nice part with the wild orange is that helps with alertness and uplifting the mood. And then you've got the benefits of the scalenium or selenium. So that you're still aware. So if you like to be able to function and do things in your day, but it just helps with this state of calmness. So I find that having those in there is really cool. And the ahi flower, what I found was interesting, because I wasn't familiar with ahi flower before the Adaptiv blend, that it's a seed oil, and it's an omega. It's a source of omegas, and omegas in like a plant-based sense, instead of what, like if somebody was vegan or vegetarian, like this would be another source of omegas for them. But the cool part about omega oils is they are also known to help with feelings of anxiousness. So, which most of us don't, we always think of omega-3s. I always think about it for, like a healthy aging brain, like joints and stuff like that, good skin. But I never really thought about it on the emotional state, but those are your three key for when it comes to that heightened emotions, calming anxiety.
Oh, what a great point. I actually did not know about that. So you've given me a quick educational session there with the ahi flower. Beautiful. And like all these resources are simply packed into a small capsule that you can just pop in. Makes it so convenient to carry around, and making sure that you're taking it versus like having to create your own capsule with an oil. So this is definitely a huge bonus with the Adaptiv. And these are some of the benefits that Adaptiv states: that it supports the cognitive function and emotional balance, supports mood and helps improve state of mind, while calming and promoting positive feelings, which you had alluded to, Leanne, helps when acclimating to new surroundings and adapting to stressful situations. I also loved the point that you brought up about kind of having that sedative like effect, because a lot of pushback that can come for natural products is, well, we do not know the effects that we may encounter. Like somebody that hasn't used natural products may have that fear. And the reality is, and this is not me saying just go out and be irresponsible, but it is truly like that when you're on your natural allopathic route with doctors trying to figure out what actual medication works for you. So very much like that is the health and wellness world, where you have these supplements available to you, and they have to be used responsibly. And there are, you have to try it out. You can't just dismiss thinking that, you know, there is not enough studies, because there are enough studies done behind these products that doTERRA has available to us on their website. So the oil, did you want to talk about the oil as well?
I will. I just wanted to say that too about the Adaptiv soft gels is, of course, if somebody is on anxiety medication, if somebody's on medications for sleep, pharmaceuticals, always check with your doctor, because at the end of the day, there are things that have contraindications with something else. Like sometimes things elevate things, sometimes they render medications ineffective, sometimes there's a complete other reaction. So you do have to err on the side of caution. And of course, if you're breastfeeding or you're pregnant, you know, same thing, check with your doctor and make sure these things are safe for you to use, because these are things that are generally regarded as safe. And like, I've had some people concerned about ingesting essential oils. So when they see things like lavender oil in a capsule, they're like, oh, and they get upset. But I'm rest assured, there's numerous studies on lavender. And if there are other supplements on the market that people forget that are for calming, like relaxation, for stressful situations, for sleep, that contain lavender oil in them. But most people don't realize that, because they, you know, audit, like they just think, oh, I'm going to get the supplement that says lavender, it's fine, but it's the same thing. So I think sometimes people think, oh, well, doTERRA promotes ingestion of oils. And let's be clear, like it's very specific oils that you can, certain safe doses. There are some oils you can't ingest, but they also are tested for purity, because you can't just randomly go ingest, you know, an oil from another brand. So that's the kind of thing, like, you have to watch. But like, if that was a concern, knowing that in the soft gel that these things are in there, like they are tested for purity and safety, and they are in known tested safe doses. And then, like I said, with the other things in here, like the GABA, the ahi flower, the scledium, these are in other supplements. So you can be assured that doTERRA is on the mark when it comes to the ingredients they've chosen for these soft gels.
Thank you for that clarity. I do appreciate that. And I just noticed that the oil itself has Copaiba in it.
Yes.
Which is, again, something that I remembered the Rosemary and Neroli, because those are two of my real favorite oils. I love them. So is Magnolia, the wild orange. But I'm a huge fan of Copaiba on its own. So the fact that it has Copaiba in the oil, I can understand why I gravitate to it.
Right.
It has an aromatic note of sweet, citrusy, and floral. So the combination of those. Now, I did want to share, like, other than the health benefits, I absolutely love using the essential oils as my perfume. Right. It's such a great mood lifter. And even when I'm doing yoga or meditation, where I feel like I need a certain kind of feeling to be invoked. Yep. And I'm sure we'll do a segment on oils that are great for emotions, because doTERRA does have an entire line for emotions. Right. Perfectly placed, right? Because I love those oils. They are so cool. Yeah, I can't wait to do that one. But Adaptiv also increases feelings of tranquility. So just, I've used Adaptiv for my meditations, because it's really helped me ground myself. A little bit about, like, even mixing these oils with a base. Now, we do have the roll-on that is readily available, but you can even mix and match these oils, which is a fun little thing to do with your family or a young teen that enjoys to create their own perfume. And actually, that's how I got into doTERRA, Leanne. I think I may have shared that with you, where I wanted to get rid of a lot of the wallflowers and the perfumery that I was wearing. The wallflowers I was so obsessed over because I wanted different rooms to smell a different way. My kitchen had to smell different, from my bathroom to my living room to my office. And when I learned how many toxins are in the air just because you've got this plugged into the electric socket, and just in a perfume bottle, how many toxins are in that, I just couldn't turn back. I just couldn't put a blind eye to it, and I wanted to do something about it. So I was actually introduced to doTERRA to eliminate perfumes and help with my lungs to be cleared, because I had symptoms of asthma, just allergies and stuff. So I just wanted to put that out there, because if somebody is thinking or is on the fence about oils, we're definitely talking about the deeper effects that it can have in your body as you're consuming them, the oils that are safe to consume. But I'm also encouraging through this conversation how you can take baby steps into the world of essential oils, because it may be just the fact that you love scents, but you need safer scents, because we all know and are becoming more and more aware of what we're consuming and the toxicity levels in everything from building materials to cleaning materials to healthcare products to like just what you're using for perfumery, everything in our food. So the more aware we're becoming with this, I just wanted to insert this information. It's not always that you're chasing a bigger goal of being emotionally supported through these oils. Those are all great benefits that come alongside the usage, but it could be something as simple as, changing what kind of lozenges you use, what kind of face care, beauty care that you're wanting for your family. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and you know what, to be honest with you, like the difference between having scent in your home, like an artificial scent, like a lab created scent that doesn't have the natural chemical constituents that occur in plants, like depending on what they are, like there's something called butyl phthalates, and that's what's in a lot of fragrances. That's the problem. That's known to be a toxic ingredient, but and you don't have that in a natural essential oil. So what happens is when you start to remove these artificial scents, it's almost like as you do a slow cleansing, you start to eat a little bit better, you drink a little bit better water, cleaner water, and maybe you remove some pops out of your life or drink a little less coffee, and you're eating a little bit cleaner, like more whole food, increasing your plant-based nutrition, that kind of thing. And then, like you said, you get rid of these plugins and you go to more natural cleaners and way of cleaning your home. Your system isn't as overloaded anymore. So I find people didn't realize how sensitive they are to those things, because then, like you said, like you were having problems, but you didn't associate it to the stuff, the scents, the other scent that was happening in your house. And the off-gassing of what they call it, like different things. You put brand new carpet in your home, like they call them like off-gassing, like the chemicals that are being released from the dyes and the colors. But when we start to change our lifestyle and change these things and start to live a more conscious, holistic lifestyle, I find you notice the artificial fragrances. It's almost like, oh, like it's offensive. Now, don't get me wrong. When you crack open a bottle of essential oil, this is super potent. So right, like this close can be a little like, whoa, because it's so concentrated. But in a diluted form, a couple drops in a diffusing, because it's a natural plant-based material, it's different. There's not these toxic chemicals. We didn't create it in a lab. formulate it like this is coming from nature. So our body responds to it completely different. I mean, there are always going to be those people who are super sensitive to scent, people who are prone to chronic migraines and whatnot. There, some of them I have found are sensitive to specific essential oils. So then they stick to ones that work best for them. But yeah, I do find when there's a cleansing of your whole lifestyle, you notice the difference between an artificial fragrance opposed to like a natural essential oil, like the scent, like the fragrance from that.
It's such a great point, because this is that path of self-advocacy, right? Like when you are starting to become conscious and aware of what you are consuming and what you are putting in your surroundings, you almost have to become an advocate for yourself as to why you're doing it. And that comes from education. And that's why, Leanne, you and I are so passionate about education, and not just, oh, this is such a great product, you must try it because it smells so great, because it is really you knowing why you're doing what you're doing. And the other point that I was going to add to what you said, like if somebody's having reactions to certain oils, I do want to even add, not always, but sometimes it is also a deeper rooted problem that may be surfacing up as a headache or a migraine, because those are just symptoms to perhaps a bigger problem, that an underlying problem that needs to be met. And when we are consciously going in to care for ourselves, and we are the advocating team and not just handing our powers away to a health system, then you are actually navigating and steering the wheel, and you've got doctors and specialists all as a team to support you and not just take you by the hand and go do it because you're being asked to do it. You can actually develop that skill of, okay, well, this is what's working for me, and this is what's in my conscious awareness. This is what I want to do. Those are the decisions that you can make.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I am going to share that screen again. Oh, and so here's some of the cool ways that doTERRA suggests that you can use the Adaptiv oil, is you can mix 3 to 4 drops with Epsom salt and add to bath water for a relaxing soak, which I am all about self-care at every level. Spend that time with you, right? So if Epsom salts is the way that you want to really relax and decompress, that is what you want to do. Let me see. And then you can combine 3 drops with fractionated coconut oil, always using a carrier oil to use it for massaging. Diffuse to promote a centered and calm mindset, which, I love diffusing. All the plugins were removed years ago from my life so that I could have the diffusers in every room. And if I wanted to create a different mood in each level, like at bedtime, I've got my oils going, and that creates that feeling of an invitation to go to bed.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to pipe up, like, so say somebody's sitting there going, well, I'm not normally an anxious person. I'm not either. I rarely use my Adaptiv, but then there's those moments where all of a sudden you have your go, 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 or something comes up and like you feel pressure all of a sudden, or maybe you start to go, oh, and your breathing changes, because there's so many different elements to stages of stress and anxiety and tension and whatever else. Even before you start to feel like super tense or anxious, this is when you grab these tools and you use them right away. And if it's the capsules, it's that thing, say, you have a day where, that you're already anticipating the overwhelm. You're already anticipating that it's going to be a little bit much, this is where like the Adaptiv capsules, like you could take the roller bottle with you, like the oil, or if you don't have it, then take this one. So you can just, even cracking open the bottle and smelling it, you know, like will help. But the thing is, you've got these tools to use, and maybe it is because the next day is a busy day and you're finding that night you're thinking a lot about what your day is going to be like tomorrow, and you've got all this stuff on your plate and whatever else. It's like, okay, try diffusing the Adaptiv, or take the capsules, because they have the things that help calm. Even if you took it in the evening, like a couple hours before bed, and then maybe you went to bed and you added some lavender, you know, on your spine, bottoms of your feet, or you diffuse lavender, just help calm you down. Like, these are things that you can pull out, like, of the toolbox or the medicine cabinet, as we call it, as other options. So it's kind of thinking outside. Okay, well, I'm not an anxious person, so I don't really need it. Well, what about, do you ever feel stressed? Do you ever feel kind of down? Do you ever overthink? Do you, you know, ever feel sometimes you got a lot on the go and you can't think clearly? You know, like, these will help you, because even this oil blend, and some of these oils that are in the Adaptiv capsules that are on for the promo this month, the wild orange, like, it's an uplifter. So even though you've got this lavender that's supposed to be calming and whatever else, you've got the wild orange that helps pick you up. Because sometimes when people are stressed, maybe it's stress, or maybe they're down, like, you know, it affects people differently. Some people might get really discouraged and down, whereas the wild orange naturally is a bit of a pick-me-up. And then you've got something like spearmint. The mints help with the mental clarity, the focus. So we've got this going on. It also helps kind of bring you back to this state. And then you've got, you say Copaiba, I say Copaiba, they say Copaiba. Where they source it, same thing again, tomato, different pronunciations. But like, that's supposed to work on the endocannabinoid system. So we've got this thing, an alternative to like a CBD oil, you know, that helps us deal with all these life stressors. So you've got so many like tools, you know, at your fingertips, that even when you don't even realize it, it's just that, take a moment.
Yeah.
Get it out and just go, okay, whoa, like, or if you know it's something's coming and you might anticipate, then get that out, like, start using it so it can get working in your system right away.
Such a great point, Leanne. In fact, it's taking me to a call I was just on prior to this one, and we were talking about breath. And so many of my clients, when I actually talk to them, they're high achievers and super busy go-getters, and never in their sphere of understanding would they see that they need to slow down to catch a breath. And so when you're talking about even not knowing the feelings of what anxiety looks like, I'm going to actually come out and share with you, I never realized that I had anxiety. And anybody that knows me, meets me, if I share that with them, they're like, you do not present any anxiety. Because we have this preconceived notion of what anxiety should look like. We all have developed certain tools to deal with that anxiety. And the reason I bring this up is to melt away our own ideas in and around mental health and wellness. These oils are such a great tool to actually connect to that sense of safety. When we catch our breath, we're connected to that sense of safety. And we are talking about Adaptiv, but just the oils in general. And this particular oil, because it is for stressors in your life. Sometimes we just are so great at playing the game of life that you do not even realize that you need to catch a breath.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to lay that out there, that just because you may not see it, one of the things that we do in our team is we will open up our oil kit and allow people to just play with the oils, sniff the oils, and see what they're naturally gravitating towards, right? And I find that is such a great way to just be introduced to the oils, because your body already knows what it wants and it needs. And I think you had said that, didn't you, Leanne, that there are certain oils that you're like, not today.
Yeah, like I can tell, like if Adaptiv is very strong for me, but I think it's also because with it having I love Magnolia and I love Wild Orange, but it has the lavender, and I'm not a fan. I actually can't stand the smell of lavender, but lavender was my introductory oil into the essential oil world. It was the one that kind of saved the day for me, which we'll have to talk about that another time. But but I think, like, I just wanted to say about what you were saying about the anxiety. Like, yeah, like there are people who are diagnosed with chronic anxiety, like, or they suffer from anxiety. But then there's other people who there's only certain things that trigger anxiety. Like you're not normally an anxious person, or you don't normally have anxiety. So I think we have this, I don't want to say would it be a stigma or like an idea around the fact that, well, if I don't have chronic anxiety, I don't need that. But it's not even about that. Like it's about the fact that certain things can trigger you. If you're triggered in a moment, you have a tool. If all of a sudden, like I said, like say life is busy or something comes up and you're just completely not prepared for it, and it hits a nerve, like all of a sudden you start to notice you're not breathing, you're kind of like you notice your breath is quickening and stuff like that. It's like, stop, take a deep breath with a drop of oil, allow that to, hit our olfactory system, like, and allow these things to work for you. They're tools. It's not like we're saying, I don't know if it's a stigma around people being medicated or taking drugs, like, you know what I'm saying, for stuff like this, that people automatically go, oh, they're medicated for this. And then we develop this thing, well, I don't have issues. Well, it's like, well, no, but even if you're somebody in school, like if they're super nervous before exams, boom, here's something. They've got a presentation. Wow, we've got like tools to use for that, like natural, safe, and effective tools to use. So because that feeling is going to go away, it's just that to work through the feelings to get to the other side, you've got these things to assist you along the way. Because some of the best ways to deal, I think, with stress and anxiety is us learning how to process it and make our way like through the storm, right?
I want to just give you a high five to that. Like, just brilliant. Yes, that is just it, right? Like all part of that self-advocacy, self-recognition, self-awareness, just using these tools playfully in ways that you can enjoy them, and then be on this path of discovery for yourself, be on this path of discovery for the oils, be on that path of self-discovery alongside anything that can support your wellness. Because if you're well, everything in your world is well. The more we build relationships with ourselves, the better the relationships that we're able to project.
Yeah, and even the person who, what I call like is anticipatory anxiety, people who are saying that they're going to have an anxiety attack, or they're going to have panic, or they're going to be under stress. Even that anticipation of that, like I find if people have a tool that they know, like you said, play around with it, test these things, try them out. Like if use the roller on your pulse points, breathe it in, see how in different situations, see how it works for you. Try the soft gels in these moments, and test it, because I find when we have a tool, like something that we know that has worked for us, almost like that, it's like an insurance policy, right? So that when we're feeling those things, or you're about to go somewhere, you have these tools. So I even think that sometimes cuts down on the anticipation that you could be really stressed out or anxious or nervous or not be able to focus or whatever, because something's happening or something's coming. Like it almost takes the edge off, if that makes sense. Like I've got this tool, like I've got this.
Yeah.
And they're there with me, so I kind of can going, I'm prepared if something happens, I have some help.
Oh, such great points. Love it, love it. I think I would love to talk about what our promotion for the month is at this point. It says time to adapt. I love that. It's so catchy. So if you place an order for 180 PV, you get the Adaptiv capsules for free. And that's what the capsules look like. And it tells you it's to help temporarily promote relaxation, the cognitive function in adults, and to support cognitive performance in a healthy aging population. So you can have all of that if you just place an order for 180 PVs. If you need further clarification on how to do that, please just reach out. We'd love to help you out. And how long will this promotion last? It's till October the 31st. And how many times can you participate in this promotion? It's up to 4 times. And do you have to have an LRP in order to be able to qualify? No, it says you can just place a single order for 180 PVs and you're good to go.
Do you want to just explain that the LRP is the loyalty rewards program? So somebody just might want to purchase the Adaptiv to try it, but like if you don't have to have a monthly, you're not like on a monthly order, like a repetitive order to have to participate. You could just do a one-time order. You
Absolutely.
Something else. It could be an enrollment order of 180 PV or more, and you'll get the free Adaptiv capsules. And then if that doesn't apply at all, then somebody can just order it straight from you.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And I think those are the biggest ones. Leanne, do you have anything? Oh, what market? So the US and Canada markets is where this promotion is for. Is there anything else that you're seeing that we need to highlight, Leanne? Have I missed anything?
I don't think so.
I think we're good on that front. All right, wonderful. So that's all for our Adaptiv show. I am super excited for the next one. We will base it on the next promotion. It's an opportunity to highlight and feature the next oil.
Yeah, so I just want to encourage your listeners, like if you have any questions at all, please reach out to Mishka or myself and just ask. Like, there's no obligation, no nothing. If you just want clarification about something, you want to understand pricing, you understand, how do I purchase these products? Like whatever it is, just feel free to ask. Like it's no obligation whatsoever. Don't let your questions go unanswered. Like that's probably like the one thing that I find super disappointing when people don't feel comfortable to reach out. I promise we don't bite, we're nice.
And fun.
Please reach out if you have questions or you want to know, and reach out if you want to purchase. If you're not working with somebody in doTERRA at all right now and you want some help, please reach out to us so we can help you out.
Love it. Thank you, Leanne, for today. And looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Me too.
Take care next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for staying with us, and do connect with me on my various platforms for any questions or requests. Links are in the description, and see you next time.